Andrew Callahan. Can they duplicate this? Is this they took a Cincinnati team? We knew they'd be pretty good on defense. They didn't turn the ball over. They were superior in special teams. They had some turnovers. They didn't turn the ball over themselves. Is this a way they can duplicate to win a little bit this season?
I think a couple of times. Okay. I mean, if you split this up, right, offense, defense, special teams, you work backwards. Special teams, I'm not counting on the long snapper to force a fumble every single week. Probably not for the rest of the year. But they beat them in all the other phases, made all your field goals. Chad Ryland did that once last year. If you think about when he attempted, as Joey Sly did, 3 or more field goals, and he made all of them. Chad Ryland did that once in 17 games. Joey Sly did that on Sunday. Defensively, great game plan. This was Bill without Bill on the sideline. Joe Burrow was flummoxed. He looked like Mac Jones, in my opinion, circa 2022. And they had him checking down before he needed to. Offensively, Gerard Mayo gave a lot of praise to the offensive line. And it was deserved, I think, in some parts with the run blocking. We all watched it. But pass protection is a big, big issue. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they're going to have a ton of games this year where they have 0 turnovers and just 3 penalties in that side of the ball. That's a part that I go, good for them. I'm just not holding my breath with the offense moving forward.
How do you explain the offensive line run blocking? Because they were a mess every snap I saw them play during the preseason, and all of a sudden they're executing like they've all been playing together for 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, so 2 things on this. One is Ramondre Stevenson at 120 yards rushing. 118 of those, according to PFF, were after contact.
Okay.
So he was making a lot of magic in that backfield.
Fair enough.
Like those 0.01% of your nights, Fred.
Yeah.
But for the offensive line, the times that they did clear room, which we all saw at the end of the game, right? It was 6 offensive linemen. When they had 6 offensive linemen on the field, they had a successful play on 75% of those snaps. So it was just, we have more guys on the field. You have a bad run defense that's missing a couple of players, and we're going to bully you. And they did it. But the other instances, when it was just a regular formation, or regular personnel groupings, it was about average.
So I just briefly, though, because I don't want to take anything away from Ramondre Stevenson, and I agree, the extra offensive lineman had a lot to do with it. But the huge percentage of his yards came after contact.
Well, you just said that.
And to not give him enough credit for the job that he did, it kind of does a disservice, and it also, I think, speaks to Fred's initial question about can they repeat it. I don't know that the offense was all that good. I think it was mostly Ramondre, and I don't think you can rely on an overall good offensive effort because I don't think they had one. I think they had Ramondre Stevenson. I think that's it.
Well, you know what's funny is they had the offensive performance that they wanted, right? Like they ran the ball on their last 10 first down plays. This is, we got a lead. We're going to sit on it. We got 1 offensive touchdown and just run the clock. So they did what they wanted to. I think they could have been more aggressive, to your point. It was only 1 offensive touchdown.
I don't know but I don't know that they can be more aggressive with Jacoby Brissett.
Well, the other part is the moving parts in the offensive line, right? Like we watched in the first quarter, their starting left tackle get pulled after a dozen snaps. See ya. You're done. That's it. Oh. Replaced him with Vidarian Lowe. Actually an upgrade. Their left guard is a guy who's currently on the practice squad. He played 100% of those snaps and actually was pretty good. But if Sidy Sow comes back, which, look, the Patriots season is not going to hinge or change in a way because Sidy Sow is suddenly healthy from an ankle injury. But next to him was David Andrews, who was perfect in pass protection, had a very good day run blocking. 2 spots over from him was Micah Onwenu, same deal. So that's 3/5 your offensive line you might be able to count on. And then the rookie right guard, who Gerard Mayo said yesterday, he thinks Layden Robinson could be a very special player. He wasn't special on Sunday, but if you get 4 out of your 5 offensive linemen who can really function, particularly running the ball the way they want to, that's an offense that has a foundation you can move forward with.
All right. How do you think that, along those lines, that Mayo was the best coach on Sunday? That he was?
Yes.
He was. Because he ran because he managed the clock with everything. Yeah. You think game plan, everything up and down, Mayo was the best coach on Sunday.
Up and down, and you could, if you were prosecuting this case, you just submit Zach Taylor's successful challenge for a fumble.
A fumble that the Patriots recovered.
Did not
Remarkably
recover.
Stupid.
Cool. This play went from no gain because Ramondre Stevenson got stopped to no gain because Stevenson fumbled, and then the Patriots got it back.
He just wanted to be proven right.
What were you doing?
Even if he didn't get anything out of it, he just wanted to say, no. I know what really happened.
That was the only thing that he could win yesterday or Sunday was just that one challenge. That was it. We watched Joey Chestnut at halftime in Cincinnati. Pound all of these sausages and hot dogs. Zach Taylor's teams in weeks 1 and 2 every single year look like they did that 30 minutes before kickoff. It is a slog. It is slowish. They don't want to be there. They're 1-10 in weeks 1 and 2 since he took over.
Okay, just along those lines, and then we have to break, but we got you all hour. Did you see when Jamar Chase wasn't leaving the field when they called too many men in the field on the punt? Can you kind of describe what was happening? That wasn't visible on television.
Arms up in the air, pouting, head down, slowly walking over. I'm like, okay, he'll get off the field in time. He's still on the field. He's not off the field yet. Oh, they're punting. Flag flies. And he was just upset, A, about punting, B, about not getting the ball enough. But it was as much Joe Burrow, again, looking like Mac Jones circa 2022, as it was Patriots had a really, really good plan for him.
And just real briefly here, is it really a matter of like conditioning and Zach Taylor not having these guys ready? It's happened enough times with the Bengals, but are they not doing camp the right way, or are the starters not getting any reps? I mean, what's the explanation?
I have no idea. It's just because I'm not there, right? But we walked out, me and my partner Doug Hyde of the Herald, with a Cincinnati beat writer who just goes, I don't know why I'm ever picking them to win an opener again. And it might be camp, but I would go back to, he takes over in 19, the rebuilding. 2020's Joe Burrow's rookie years. Throw those out. The last couple of years, you're still coming out of COVID, right, in 21. I think this was more about the Patriots conditioning. Like Gerard Mayo's training camp was the hardest, most difficult, grueling that I had seen since I joined the beat in about 2018, 2019.
I think I heard you say that. The number of times they were in pads and the physicality.
And you don't have to take it from me. Players in the locker room were telling us after, like, that really helped us today. That we're going to run the ball down your throat. Gerard announced this on Wednesday last week. Said, yeah, this is what we want to do. This is what we need to do. The Bengals have our plan now. And they executed anyway. That's the type of shape and I think physicality and toughness need to be in, which is separate from getting lucky with the Bengals at the time of year that they did. But both can be true.
How much of it is the hill? Because, we know the hill is so important it's been recreated.
I don't know. Like, the Seahawks could very well come in here Sunday and then do to the Patriots what the Patriots did to the Bengals. And we're like, okay, so much for the hill, so much for the conditioning, so much for camp. So I'm hesitant to go there. But if the Patriots win, I'll give the hill a shout.
Well, you see, the Lions did it. You saw the 49ers do it last night. I mean, there is a difference in conditioning.
Did we find out if they got rid of the hill after Patricia left? Was the hill
in Detroit?
Yeah, bulldozed.
I don't think you can do that. I mean, I think that's probably the state has to have some say in that. It's a historical.
Well, you get the
do you know what he's talking about?
Yeah, I think it was a fake hill, actually.
Yeah.
Artificial hill. I was there in 19. They had joint practices. They also, kid you not, copied and pasted the playlist from Patriots practices.
Oh, God.
And you had the touchdown song playing
me.
in Detroit in 2019, around then when Brady gave that press conference about the contract extension.
Fraud that guy is.
No, Patricia's an idiot. And there's no...
But the hill.
Nothing that any of you can say because you weren't there in Detroit. Talk to any of those guys. We've had him on just to prove my point. He's a real moron. He's a rocket scientist. No, he's not. He's a bad football coach, an idiot.
And he's also an environmental impact expert because you can't build a hill without the EPA getting involved. So he had to navigate all that red tape.
If you don't know what we're talking about, Matt Patricia, when he took over as the coach of the Lions, the Patriots have this hill that they run up in training camp and what have you. So it wasn't in Allen Park where the Lions practiced. There was no elevation.
There's no hill.
No. So he spent literally, guys, over $100,000 having this hill put in. As if that was the difference. And the players aren't, the players are smarter than him because they all looked around him and said, well, this guy's an idiot. From the first practice, when he put out his rings and told them they all sucked. And they said, thanks a lot for coming.
It's the trucking cost. The fill for the hill might be free. Free, clean fill. But you got to get it there. That's where you spend the money.
Well, you know what they did? They had cans, charity cans out at all the grocery stores called Fill for the Hill. So it was actually a community project, 1 penny at a time.
If you like that clip, and how could you not? Check out more videos from Toucher and Hardy here. Point slightly up and to the left. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. Point slightly down and to the left. And for the latest from the Sports Hub, download at 985thesportshub.com.